Good morning, spiritual beings here, fulfilling your purpose, living humanity. And what I want to talk about today is something that I've been personally going through because we're here to fulfill a soul purpose. This is a process of evolving. So why does change seem so hard? Why does change seem so hard? Right? Many people believe that change is hard. The irony is that change is the only thing that's constant in life. Right? Meaning everything is continually changing, and change is the only thing that doesn't change. And there's the irony of the whole thing. So why does change seem so hard? Well, let's start with a few limiting beliefs. One, have you ever heard the mantra, a tiger never changes its stripes? What's that mean? That means once a person establishes their belief system, they will never change, even if they want to. Have you ever said that? Do you believe that about other people? Because if you believe it about other people, then you may also believe that about yourself, which means then you get stuck and this is the way you're going to stay for the rest of your life. How does that sound? So Tony Robbins has a quote, and it's one of the strongest human needs is to be consistent with who people believe they are. You want to remain consistent with who you believe you are. And what's that mean? That means we establish our identity, and that leads to the limiting belief, or comes from the limiting belief, that I am who I am because of the things that I've been through in my life. And I have definitely said that, man. When I was young, I used to say that all the time. Here's the problem with that. Then we establish our identity, who we believe we are, with our conditions in the past. So let me give you an example. Well, when I was younger, I was single. Then I got married. Then I got divorced. Then I was single. Then I got remarried. Then I was widowed. Then I'm single again. So, when I look on one of those forms, which ones do I check? Like, I laugh at myself. Well, hey, Bobby Joe, yep, been single, yep, been divorced, yep, been widowed. What are you going to do? So which one am I? When I was in my 20s in college, I was bartending my way through school. I did drugs. Does that mean I'm a drug user now? Does that mean I identify with an ex-drug user? Hey, when I was a little kid, my best friend tried to sexually molest me. Does that mean I'm a sexual abuse victim? So if our conditions determine who we are now, then we have an identity that keeps repeating our past. And that's one of the reasons it's so hard for people to change. Now you may be on here thinking, well, yeah, but they do affect who I am. Well, they can influence. They don't influence who you are. They may influence what you do. There's a big difference. They may help you become more clear on who you are, your core values, and leading to your purpose. So if I'm not my conditions, then who am I? Well, you're a spiritual being having a human experience. You're a divinity living humanity here for a purpose, to fulfill a purpose, and fulfilling that purpose takes a process of not just continual change, but an evolution of who you believe you are. Now, why am I going through this? Why do people think it's hard to change? Because if you don't understand your humanity and how your mind works and your human self, how can we ever express our divine self? If we can't get past our humanity, how can we ever experience our divinity? And here's one thing that holds us back. Well, another thing. It's called cognitive bias. Okay, what's cognitive bias? When we look up the definition, it's a systematic error in thinking. It's a thinking error that as we process information, it affects the decision and the judgments that we make. What's that mean? Cognitive bias is we want to hold strong to who we believe we are. Why? Because your brain loves certainty. Your brain loves certainty. Why? Because it wants you to survive. So what it does is when you have an experience, then it associates an emotion, and then what's it do? It wants to file it in your subconscious mind. Why? Because your mind and your brain are actually a deletion mechanism. You're like, what are you talking about? Well, here's an example. If I hold my finger right here, I'll feel my finger for a little bit, but after a few minutes, I won't feel it anymore. Why? Because your brain deletes stimulus. It can't hold everything you ever know in your conscious mind all the time, or you go freaking crazy, right? You feel the clothes on your body all day long, so your brain actually likes to delete. So your subconscious mind is like a filing cabinet in your garage. So once it knows something, it files it, and then when something familiar happens, your brain goes out to that filing cabinet. Oh yeah, here's how I'm supposed to act. And that's why they say your subconscious mind controls 95 to 99% of your life. That's scary. So why does a tiger never change his stripes? Because your subconscious mind is running things based on your past. You bring your past in your present. You keep repeating patterns. Anybody ever done this besides me? You keep repeating patterns and you hold yourself back. Isn't that fascinating? And that's why people don't like change. That's why it's uncomfortable, because you have to go into uncertainty when everything in your body and your human self wants to be certain and safe. But here's the reality of being a spirit, having a human experience, here to fulfill a purpose, and that's the reason you're here in your life. You're not trying to change. This is a big one. Are you ready? You're not trying to change. You're seeking a transformation. You're not happy with just change. You want a complete transformation, because if we don't transform, how are we ever going to do this? You know, and I go through this all the time. I mean, I'm going through this today because it's time to go to another level of evolution. It's time to take the purpose to another level. So what do we got to change first? We got to change our mind. We got to get into our heart. So what happens when you seek a transformation? You raise who you believe you are. You raise why you believe you are here. You also raise what you will do and how you will do it in this life. Man, you raise who you believe you are, why you're here, and what you will do. And if we can't continue to evolve that, we're never going to fulfill our purpose, and then we run into the greatest tragedy or the greatest regret, and that's not knowing our soul purpose, or even knowing it and not fulfilling it. Why am I on here today with you? I believe I told this story last week. My wife died 3 weeks before she died. She sat in the bathtub. We were planning her life transformation. She started bawling. I'm like, sweetheart, what's wrong? She said, I don't know if I did what I was supposed to do in this life. And I felt this overwhelming sadness, and this loud voice in my head said, no one will ever say that to me again. That's why we have Tuesday morning transformation. That's why we're talking about why it seems so hard to change. That's why if I can't do it in my life, how can I talk to you about it? But if I talk to you about it, I'm just teaching myself. And if we can do this together, man, we're going to change the world. So when God birthed you through your mother, he was never confused about why you were birthed, right? You were born with a purpose. You're in partnership with God to fulfill this purpose in life. So here we go, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you. This is God talking. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Wow, isn't that amazing? Proverbs 3:5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Doesn't say with all your mind, because God knows how your human mind works. And lean not on your own understanding. What's that mean? Don't lean on your mind. And always acknowledge him. Meaning have gratitude, because gratitude is a bridge between fear and love, between humanity and divinity. And he shall direct your paths. Meaning when we follow our heart, that will probably be the path God is taking us. And then Psalm 37:4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you, ready for this, the desires of your heart. So God is telling us, get out of our mind, get into your heart. So how do we make change? Well, that's the secret, getting out of your mind and getting into your heart. Well, how do you do that? The truth is, the power of your mind and your heart to make a decision and change your life right now happens in a moment. It happens in a moment, and this is why I'm giving this, because I have 3 powerful decisions that I am making in my life. A decision happens in a moment. It may take 20 years to get to that decision, But you have the power in your mind to make a decision right now. Check this out. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Once you make a decision, the whole universe conspires to make it happen. So when you make a decision, why does the whole universe conspire? Because we are a spirit. We are created in the likeness and image of God. The problem in our lives and the regrets that we have aren't from the decisions that we make that bring us pain. It's from the must decisions that we don't make. It's from where we have a bunch of shoulds and not enough musts. Because you have the power to get anything you want, whenever you want, when you want it bad enough. That's it. You can get anything you want, when you want it bad enough. That's it. So when we make up our mind and we burn the boats, what's that mean? When George Washington crossed the river, right, to go fight, they burn the boats. That means you make a decision, you never go back, you're totally convicted, you are going in this direction because God and the universe loves clarity. It loves clarity, which means the more clear you are. And God, the universe doesn't care about judging. If you're focused on messed up things, you're going to create messed up things. Okay? It's just, what are you clear on? So it loves clarity, and that's how you create change. And you're creating the likeness and image of God because God has given you the authority and the power. You have the authority of God. You have the power of God moving through you. That's like a police officer. A police officer has the authority of the law, and because he has the authority of the law, he's got the power of the law to enforce it. You have the authority of God and the power of God to speak into the world, to make a decision, and to manifest your purpose, because you are not waiting for God. God is waiting for you to make a decision, to be convicted to it, to move your life forward. Another one, Ralph Waldo Emerson, same thing. The mind, once stretched by a new idea, never returns. So once you make a must decision, you have a different mind. Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed. It doesn't say change. It says be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you'll be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. We got to transform our mind, raise our consciousness, make a must decision, and all of the universe will conspire to make that happen. So I have 3 empowering questions. What unwavering decision have you been putting off that you need to make right now? What unwavering must decision you need to make right now? What would happen in your life if you made that decision and were convicted to it right now? And then stay connected in the transformation. What if you focused on the end transformation and brought that into your life right now with a must decision? What would happen in your life? And the truth is, you would completely transform yourself, everything in your life. You'd become a more clear version of yourself, and the power that can move from your mind and your heart will now manifest your vision and fulfill your purpose. Hey, if you need help going through that, go to You Are More Powerful, YOUARE, morepowerful.com, and go through the Healed System, and we can help you. Okay, you guys. Hey, I gave this for me. Hopefully you got something out of it. Please share it on your timeline. Please share it on your timeline. Let's make the must decisions that we've been putting off, and let's make a difference in the world now. Okay, love you guys. Peace.